How goes it, everyone in YouTube land? So, I've been doing some calculating. I don't mind my messy table. We're in the middle of getting a couple pieces of furniture moved in and a couple pieces of furniture moved out, and going through stuff and throwing shit away. But so I wanted to nail down a price on what it was going to cost me to get the parts I need to get going on this thing. And I listed all these parts out from Ames Performance. They're Pontiac specialists. So I quoted this a few different ways. And this doesn't include any tax or anything. But there were certain parts that were not in stock. Like the core support wasn't in stock at this moment. That could change. I think a couple of the floor pans might have not been in stock. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to go through and look again, but I'm not doing that. But yeah, so I broke it all down here. I missed a couple parts and had to, add them over here. I have a piece for the left pillow repair, but they have a really nice 3-piece set that I could just fix it up real nice, not leave anything inside the pillow. I might just get that. It's only $159. Trunk floor extensions were $79 a piece. Those are the metal pieces that go down behind the rear quarters. The rear quarters are $179 each. A complete floor pan with all the braces for the subframe. This is complete toe board to the under the rear seat with the brace kits. $539. I mean, that might be the way to go. But I don't know if I want to cut the whole floor out of the car. I don't have a rotisserie or a way of bracing that car up, really, to cut the whole floor out. I mean, I probably could if I, maybe welded the door shut and welded some braces in there or something, but anyways, moving along. Or I could do full sides, and those are toe board to under the rear seat as well. Those are $331 a piece. Those would be a little more manageable to work with, I'm thinking, too, because I can do one side at a time. The thing is the entire floor on the car isn't destroyed. It's just pieces of it, and then other pieces of it are good. But it's almost like if I'm gonna do this, I might as well just fucking do it all and not have to worry about it and not have scars where it was all welded together. But that's my OCD starting to kick in. The other thing too is if I do the full sides, I can hide those welds in the transmission tub and in the rocket panels. If I were to do it in pieces, so the rear underseat pans, $89 a piece. Just the front pans with the toe boards, $165 a piece. I priced out the whole rear tail panel. I don't think I need the whole rear tail panel, but I know the bottom section of it's fucked. Who knows, I might just drill the spot welds out and put a whole panel on it, since I'm doing rear quarters too. And might as well do it. These are the ones that weren't in stock, the part frame rails. Because I already have frame rails from another car that I cut off. But these are the rear sections, because one of my rear sections is rusted out where the leaf spring bushing goes. And this would take care of that. And it goes up pretty far. It would actually tie in with what I already have. Or I could get the full frame rails and not even use the parts that I cut off the other car. Maybe use pieces to patch shit in, but this goes from the back all the way to the front where I got problems in the front spring pockets. And there's also right here torque box reinforcement pieces for $119 a piece. So up here, the core support, that was another part they didn't have in stock that I really need. That's $289. The mount kit for the full mount kit actually for it's $39. Inner fenders, needs inner fenders. Those are $149 a piece. Full hardware kit to install them is $48. Filler panels for each side that go from the inner fender to the core support, $29 a piece. I also priced out that outer tail panel that I want so bad. It's only $245 here. My parts guy has an original one that he fixed for $500, but I'm not really worried about originality on certain things, so I might just get this one, and then I can get the letters, the emblem. It's the Pontiac Pontiac letters for $62. I also priced out a tack harness that I need for that cluster that I just had built for $38. I was also looking at other things. I need rear window trim. That's $199. I'm probably gonna have to get a windshield when I fix that pillar. That's $243. But figuring just the metal, with the floor pan and pieces, I disregard all these numbers because and I added all this up, and then I forgot that I didn't add the rear quarters, and like I was trying to add the tail panel back in, and over here is where so if I get the floor pan and pieces, everything that I just mentioned off minus the rear window trim, the windshield, and like just metal, none of the rear tail panel emblems, 2,666. If I do full sides, 2,820. If I get a full pan, 2,697. Almost want to just get the fucking full pan. But then if I cut it up, I also have to drive to New Hampshire to pick the stuff up. And all I got is the Santa Fe, so I might have to rent a fucking U-Haul to pick the shit up. Get it all in one shot, because this is gonna be a big order. But pretty soon it's gonna be a go. We're just waiting for a check, and can call these guys and start ordering shit. If you guys saw my post earlier, I got a message back from Don at East Coast Transams, and he finished my clusters. He's just waiting for the printed circuit board to come in for the back. He's going to install the LEDs, and he'll probably send me a test video of them functioning, and I'll post that up, and all the pictures I got from beginning to end. So the way the story goes is one of the first things I bought for the car was a cluster, And I found out then that I had an oddball wiring harness. So I had like three guys looking for a cluster for me, and nothing local. My buddy Mark had some leads out down south. Those didn't pan out. He told me that he bought a lot of parts and sent a bunch of instrument clusters to Don at East Coast Transams, and so it was like beginning of last week, I think, maybe a little before that. Don messaged me and said, it's here's a cluster shell." And he sends me a picture of a cluster, and it's just a shell, but I could see the small hole for the 12-pin connector. I'm like, all right, well, this is the way it's going to be, because I had looked around. I found some on Marketplace. One was in Illinois. If I had bought that, it was going to have to go to him and get fixed, and that was $200 or whatever the shipping was, and if it ever showed up. So I said, to hell with it. We'll just build one from scratch, and that's what Don did for me. My car is a base model Firebird. It's not an Esprit. It's not a Formula. It's not a Trans Am. So it had dummy lights on the dashboard, and it didn't have any gauge pods off to the right. But it did have the 160 speedo. They all did. So he asked me what I wanted. I said I wanted the 160 speedo, and I was going to just be like, we'll just go with the dummy light set, and it'll just be plug and play. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm fucking putting all this work into building this car. I might as well. Plus, I'm spending $800 and some odd dollars to get this thing built, and it's brand new from scratch. Using OE equivalent parts too, mind you. I even think the Speedo is like an original one that he rebuilt. But so I said I want the rally gauges. So what I'll have to do is when I get it, I have to download a wiring diagram, and I'm gonna have to move some wires from the main plug over to the satellite pod for the gauges and for the gas gauge and the I think temperature and volts gauge off to the right. And then I'm going to have to probably have to move some around on the 12-pin connector itself. And then I'm looking at this table. It's fucking horrible. I gotta clean it. So I'll have to move some wires around on the 12-pin connector too, and then I have to get a tack harness for the tack and hook that up to my distributor or my MSD box, and they'll be working. They're gonna look odd in the car for a while because the dash is all cracked, and I'll probably end up getting a used bezel cover. But it'll be the prettiest thing on the inside of the car, because when I first start driving it, it's just going to be 2 seats in a console and the dash. Because I'm going to have to save up. This is going to be a huge chunk for me, anyways. I should have somewhere around $2,000 left over, depending on what I choose. Because I'm getting a total of $5,000, so I'm going to hold on to that wisely in case I need bolts. The thing's gonna need brakes once it's all done and shit, and so when I first start driving it, she's gonna be looking kind of rough, but she's gonna be solid and she's gonna run tight. And yeah. So that's what I got going on here. Don't mind my mess on the table. Like I said, we're doing like some not spring cleaning but summer cleaning. So pretty soon, things are gonna start getting cranked up. Work's gonna start getting cranked up. Want to have the parts first before I disassemble the car. Once I have the parts, I'm gonna fucking douche out the garage and I'm gonna start disassembling the car. So, until the next one, ladies and gents.